Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cosmic Cassie. If you are new, thanks for being here, and if you are a subscriber, thanks so much for returning. This is going to be a all signs reading. I'll get through as many signs as I can before I have to leave, and then I will do the second video later tonight, probably on the remaining signs that I still need to do. So timestamps will always be down below. And I am a psychic intuitive channel for any of you that do not know. So I do get messages in a lot of different ways, and just try to, keep up with me and follow what I'm saying if you can. Again, this is going to be general reading, so please don't take it if it does not resonate, if it doesn't make sense for your life. This reading is, again, for the super moon. It is a blue moon, which is rare, but it's also the largest super moon of this year, and it's happening August 30th, depending where you live. So I want to check in and do energy looks really quick just to see what you can expect from the energy that this is going to be bringing in towards you. Sometimes like the best way to kind of utilize that energy, since it is going to be a lot of energy here. Okay. Really quick updates for personal readings or any of the products that I make. Please know I did move from Etsy onto my own website, and I did go ahead and update all those links and everything, so you should be able to look into that website and book your personal readings through there instead moving forward, as well as featuring some of the items that I make. I still need to upload some of the photos. Oddly enough, I sell my items in metaphysical stores and things, but I've never actually sold them for myself on my website. So this will be exciting. I'm excited about it. But let's go ahead and jump into the energy. Something on the table. The first one we're going to start off with is Aries. So let's go ahead and dive in here. What does Aries need to know about this blue moon, this blue super moon energy, the full moon energy on the 30th? What does Aries need to know? This is a newer, I love this deck. It's a newer deck. It's beautiful. What does Aries need to know? Ooh. We already got cards flying. Okay. We have Ace of Swords. What does Aries need to know? What does Aries need to know about this full moon on August 30th? Looking at these Aries, and I'm going to try to keep these sweet and short, to the point. So just looking at these, I feel like with this new moon, with this full moon that's coming in on the 30th, the super moon, our blue super moon here, it's almost like for you, Aries, there's going to be a lot of new understanding about how you like to give your love. It's almost like the way this feels is you might have had a really difficult time with knowing how to express love, how to give love, how to provide love to people that you do love, or a difficult time to kind of tapping into that love energy here and then being able to actually pour it out. So you know how to receive the love, but it's almost like it's really difficult. It feels very lost for some reason. It's a missing part of you that you never discovered. It's like the way it keeps showing it to me is like a dark room. It's like I've never explored that room. I've never gone in that room. It's always kind of been dark and black because, something a long time ago happened that was bad and I just closed the door and never opened it. So now it's almost like this energy of this full moon coming in is helping you get the courage, the safety, the ability to discover what's inside of that dark room. How do I show up, and how do I want to show up? How do I want to express my love? Because this feels very much like you kind of in your own right are a little confused on how you like to give love, because it almost is like we stopped giving love at some point here. There was some kind of ending and we stopped giving love. But it's like we're ready. I think there is someone that's coming in for you, Aries. If you don't already know who this is someone that could be coming in within 3 months from now is what I get. So it's almost like either we're doing this work in the month of August or the last day of August here because we found someone we're interested in, and so it's like, okay, this is something that I have to heal. This is something I need to get better at with this love thing, this expression of love. We're doing that because we've already met someone that we really enjoy and want to be with here, or in the next 3 months we're meeting someone like that, but it's almost like spirit is preparing you for that meeting. It's like, hey, okay, let's get the cards right. Let's get everything together before you meet this person, because we need you to be ready and able to give love and know how you want to give love and make that a priority. Whereas before, I feel like you tried to make it a priority, but it's almost like what they show me is like a toddler learning how to walk. It's like we have good emotional intelligence, but it was really difficult for us for whatever reason. Each of you have your own backstory here. It is difficult for you to figure out, how do I give steady, consistent love that makes me like, I want to give love. It's almost like people on the other end that were receiving your love, it's like they couldn't see it. They couldn't feel it. It was confusing. It was hard to grasp. And you're like, what do you mean? Like I'm giving it. It's like, I can't figure out what's the right formula. What's the right numbers and to put together that equal love. I don't know. I don't get it. And it's like now we're learning how to do that without a partnership, without us trying to, figure out, well, how does this person like to be loved? Well, let me try to do that. But because it's inauthentic, and it's only inauthentic because it's not the way that you are choosing, your soul wants to love that person. You're trying to figure out, well, this is what I have to offer, and now it's like, now we're putting time, we're putting effort into this. This is a lot of supportive energy for this as well. So again, either you already have met someone and you're like before, and when I say meet someone, I don't mean you're in a relationship with this person. I don't even feel like you guys are quite dating, honestly. It almost like someone has caught your interest. They've caught your eye. They've piqued your interest here. And now you're like, before I approach this person, before we start dating, before I ask them out, I want to know that I heal this part of me so that I can do it in a very authentic and comfortable way, because I don't want to ruin this. I don't want to make a mess of this. Okay, it's almost like before, this is exactly what's happened. Yeah, you're trying to move forward here from these broken relationships and things like this. I feel like, not just for you, but this is the message that I just got, almost like for all signs, there's going to be a heavy relationship emphasis on this full moon that's coming in. There's going to be a lot of relationship energy there around romance, intimacy, love, emotions, around those kind of relationships that are more romantic, okay? It's like there's a lot of energy that's coming in to support this piece, almost heal a lot of these pieces of that part of us, is what that feels like, okay? I just want to, give me 1 second, Aries. I meant to do this and then I didn't do it. I wanted to put a timer on here so I could actually keep track of how long I'm doing, because, your girl will keep going and going and never stop. Okay, so I like this energy. This is very you. It's very much an independent energy. It's you doing this for you because you want to have a good ending. You want to have a happy, successful relationship. It's not you doing it for the person you're in a relationship with, or it's like, I'm doing this for me because I want to get someone that makes me feel loved, that I want to keep someone and be with someone that is a good match for me. I don't want to have to settle or, ruin something that I think is good for me. Last energies here for Aries. Yeah, we got swords on swords, and then death. It's like we're learning how to put an end to old ways of being more detached, of being left in the dark when it comes to our emotions. We're learning a new way to go about things, but it's almost like the key here for you, Aries, is it's like I'm learning how to stop so many endings in my life from occurring. So some signs, it's like you need to be encouraged to have more endings because there's things that need to be cleared out. Aries, for you, it's like, no, I've cleared out so much. I've probably cleared out more than I should have. I threw the baby out with the bathwater, and Spirit only told me to throw the bathwater out. So it's almost like now we're learning how do we do things in a different way to prevent endings, to prevent things from always having to come to this point of termination here, okay? Advice for Aries? Any advice messages for Aries here? A new day, yeah. That's what we're walking into, is a new day. That's what this moon is helping you figure out. It's almost like after the energy of the blue moon on August 30th, so September moving forward here, it feels like there's a, I know you're a fire sign, but it's different than just the element of fire. It's almost like a new kind of spark, a new kind of hope, It's like, because I've worked on myself and I've challenged this thing, this emotional piece of me that was really difficult for me to figure out. I'm getting this epiphany. I'm realizing things. I'm working on things. I'm knowing how to approach things in a different way. It's like I finally got the blueprint that I need to start working on and studying. And that gives me inspired hope. That gives me another spark, a new spark, that I could have this beautiful future that I've always wanted for myself. I could have a family. I could have a partner to travel the world with. I could have, I could have kids, and I could have anything I want, like when it comes to relationships. So yeah, it's like, trust the process. The process is going to be written out for you so that you can understand what it is you need to do. You're not going to be left in the dark any further about what it is that you need to do. Because Aries, I don't feel like you ever avoided doing the work or you were afraid of doing the work. It's almost like you literally just didn't know how. You had no solid plan where it was like, I don't feel guided to do that. I don't have this intuitive nudge. It's like you were purposely almost left in the light in the dark. As I'm saying that, it's like you were purposely almost not given the message on how to heal this, how to move. It's not even a healing energy, it's more like a self-discovery energy. But it's like you had to do things before this in order for this to work. So it's almost like you were purposely left in the dark, and now this moon energy, this full moon energy, is coming in and saying, hey, you're ready. We're finally here to get that biggest piece that you wanted to keep focusing on. Now that you've worked on the other things we actually wanted you to work on, now we're going to give you the process, the plan, the blueprint to move through this major energy that you already know, almost like you already are aware it afflicts you. But it's like very very toddler energy, okay? Very, very, very toddler. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying to walk. And it's like, honey, it's too early. Like, toddlers, they have to build the muscles up in their legs before they can actually use their legs to walk. And so when they try to walk, before they are crawling, it's like sometimes they're successful, very rarely, but it's like you got to build those muscles up first. You got to let yourself get ready for that, and then your legs can support you walking. It's like you needed to build up some muscles first in different areas to support you understanding how you want to give love. Gratitude. Some of this might have been around gratitude. Integrity. This feels more like you had to find the things in your life that you were really appreciative of and almost hold a certain level of integrity with those things. So with gratitude and integrity both coming out here, it's like I needed to treasure and protect the things that I was truly grateful for, instead of giving those things out and letting just anyone have them and allowing myself to just share them with anyone. Because I needed to learn, when I treasure something, it makes it a treasure. It makes it a prize. It makes it something that I should not be giving to just everyone and anyone. This is something I've learned to protect and hold and nurture and love for myself. But it's meant to be expressed and shared, but you have to choose the right people to share it with. So it's like you had to find a way to release the people that could not appreciate it in the same way you did. So it's almost like if you had this profound love that you were able to give, this profound commitment, you had assets, you came with a bunch of different things, or you had one solid thing that makes you really, really good on the dating market, we'll say. It's like you would give that to just anyone, even if you dated them for 2 weeks. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It's like, but do you know how unique that is? So it's like, let me break it down in a simple way here. It's like, I'm driving. I don't know why I got the name Troy. So I don't know if you are involved or your name is, but I heard the name Troy. And Samantha. I don't know. It's like, I'm driving, and I have this brand new, highly designed, exquisite, beautiful car here. Okay. Think of all the major brands you want. And I'm dating someone for 2 weeks, and it's like, okay, yeah, you can use my car. I don't mind. And they're driving that car around just, full of ego, thinking they're the shit because they have your car. And this is just a beautiful car. And it's like, and then they give it back to you. They don't clean it. They don't fill up the gas tank. They leave trash in it. They have no gratitude or respect for what you just did for them. But you're like, it's just a car, it's just a car. That means nothing. And then you break up with that person, and the next person you date, you do the same cycle over and over. You keep lending your car out to all these different people that you end up getting involved with. And it's like, although you're very grateful for your car and you love it, you know the work you put into it, you freely give it out to whoever needs it when you're dating them, but they don't appreciate it because it's like an expectation is the way it almost comes in. And it's like some of them even drove around in your car and found a new person to get with because that person was under the impression it was their car, and they look even better because they're in your car. So their social status, their, the idea of themselves is on top notch, and now they're attracting people using the things that you've worked for that you're allowing them to use, right? So it's like, at what point do you stop giving your car that you work so hard for, that has so much value? At what point do you stop just giving it out to people because you're in a relationship with them, because you that person needs it, requests it, wants it? It's like you're trying to be nice, which is a great thing, but it's like this moon energy, we're learning the blueprint. No, sorry, this is separate. So this is almost like what you had to learn before you could get the blueprint. And it's like, so if you're resonating with this means you've already learned this. You're coming out of this cycle of understanding what I'm talking about, this concept, okay? Of, I may be grateful for the things in my life, but I share them with people that truly don't have a gratitude for them. But it's almost like, because I love these people, I share it with them, and they have no appreciation or gratitude over it. If anything, they use it against me, not with me, not for me. It's like it's not quite a user energy, because I don't feel like you feel you're being used, but it's like you had to learn, if I love something and I am grateful for it, I need to stop giving my car out because it keeps getting messy. I've had to replace the interior, the paint's all chipped, It's time for me to stop giving it out and hold it sacred and love it like I should, but tell everyone else no, unless I know for a fact that this person's coming in and they are going to appreciate what I did to get this, and they're also going to appreciate the act of me allowing them to use something that belongs to me that I treasure, okay? And they're gonna appreciate it to a point where I know they're appreciating it because they take just as good care of it, if not more care of it, than what I did for myself. It's like, this is the energy. It doesn't have to be an actual material item. This could be an emotion. This could be how you show up in a relationship, things like this, okay? So it's like, now that we've released this idea that what's mine is yours, okay? No, it's only yours if you deserve it, if it's rightfully owed to you, and I'm the one who dictates if it is owed to you, if I want you to have this. Now that we've settled that, now it's time to like not turn into like a penny pincher, so to speak. It's like, now we have to remember, because now we've experienced both ends of the spectrum, being overly sharing way too much, way too, you know what I mean? And then the other end of it is not sharing anything at all, being really stingy and like keeping everything for myself because I've had this experience. So now that we've been on both ends of the spectrum, now it's time to find the balance within. Now it's time to balance the middle thing out. One of the things I will always say is, like, no matter what lesson you're learning, you will have to learn both ends of it. And that's why we have to forgive ourselves for the energy that we show up in, because it's that energy that allows us to move forward and move on. Okay, if you don't experience both ends of the spectrum, you will have no idea what balance looks like or how to get to the balance. If you overgive, you will go into a phase of learning to stop overgiving. You will learn how to give nothing. And then you will realize giving nothing has its own problems associated with it. And that's when we are able to come into the middle and be like, okay, I now learned how to give, but I also learned how not to give. So now I put those learnings together and the lesson is done. The lesson is complete. So it's like, don't ever feel bad about yourself because you were in a certain energy, or because you did something that was, in your shadow energy, whatever it is. That's how you learn to integrate it. You integrate too much light with too much shadow to get the perfect balance here. You can't operate in a world that is not of light, because you will be taken advantage of, run down, run over. So if you have too much light, you are going to have a hard time. If you're too open, you will have a hard time. But if you're closed, well, now you're also going to have a hard time, internally and for yourself. This is how we learn the balance. This is how we find the middle ground. Okay? Little gold nugget there for you. That's why we move drastically to one end from the other, so that we can find ourselves in the middle. We have Eight of Pentacles, Father of Cups, and then turned over. So I feel like this is energy you do not know. Eight of Pentacles, this is like, yeah, this is you working really hard to find emotional balance, emotional stability, because I feel like you've been in these relationships where you've just given, and it's like, and then it never ends good. It's like, and it's almost like you get with people and they don't even, this might be more specific for someone specifically here, because this is a message that came through and now it's coming through again, where it's almost like the scene that's playing out in front of me, like in my mind's eye here, is someone who, it's like, I give you everything I have because I don't know how to emotionally show up with love. It's like you do, but it's almost like that's because you did not explore that room. You didn't have your blueprint. You didn't have the process here. You didn't know how to show up emotionally in a relationship. And this does not mean it was your fault when it came to an end at all, because it's not. It's the kind of people you were attracting. You attracted people who did not look for the emotional piece of you because you did not have it to offer. So it's almost like the scenario that I'm seeing play out is almost like someone who kept attracting people, and they would give all their material items, all their possession, all their time, all their energy. They would give everything without question to this person because that's the only way they knew or could try to show up with this loving energy to show and prove I love you, because I don't have the emotion to give that quite, directly. But I have everything else. Everything else you can have, like what I do have, you can have it because I want to show that I love you. And it's like you would attract people that would take everything that you gave them. But at the end of the day, when you were looking for that emotion, you were looking for that person to love you back, it was not there. It was like, these are people that could not love you back in the capacity you wanted them to, because you wanted to be loved in a capacity that you yourself could not love them in. If you follow it, you follow it, okay? That's as much as I'm going to break that down. So this is working really hard to find a way to heal that emotional capacity piece, so that you can attract someone who actually is aligned with the emotion and not everything that you can give, not everything else out here, not all these external things that you can provide. It's the internal piece, okay? And so that's what this moon energy is coming in for you. What you don't see is the Father of Swords, Daughter of Swords, and the Fool. Ooh, that's interesting. And then we have Four of Swords at the bottom. What you don't see, it's Aries, I think for you it's a little difficult detaching from a lot of people and learning how to almost, it's not a withdrawal of emotion, it's a withdrawal of those things that you would give. So you're being guided naturally, and you this is more energy you'll feel around the moon, is you'll start to feel yourself kind of pull back and stop giving so much of yourself and things that you have. Yeah, that's how you created a pattern in a cycle here, is because you would give all of this stuff because you didn't quite know how to love the way you wanted to, and so you would just give everything else because all this stuff doesn't matter as much as love, and I don't quite know how to give you love emotionally, so I'm just going to give you everything else because none of the stuff even matters anyway, even though you could look at it in that way, right? Someone else does not. And it's like that became a habit, that became a pattern of yours of, this is my expression of love. This moon energy, the full moon energy coming in, you're going to start to pull those things back. And it's like, even though I don't get that you're a materialistic person at all, it's almost like you're very opposite. Like, you attract materialistic people because you don't care about materialistic items, so you just give it all away. You're like, whatever, I don't care. You can use it, you can have it, you can borrow it, I don't care. You're going to stop doing that. It's like the energy is pulling you away from doing that. Stop sharing so much of yourself in every capacity. Even if you've gotten a healthier boundary around it, you're going to just, it's like I withdraw within to myself and I stop sharing anything that is outside of myself. And it's like, this helps us learn how to pull that energy in and start learning how to share the emotion rather than the material, rather than the time, the experience. I'm learning how to tap in and share emotion instead of everything else around me, because when I stop sharing all of this, I have to share something. If I want a relationship, I have to show up in some way. So let me stop sharing everything that I'm used to sharing and actually dive in deep so I can get the emotion out and express the emotion and make an emotional connection rather than like a materialistic connection. Okay? I hope you can follow that. That's everything I have for you, Aries. I will be doing your more in-depth reading for the month of September pretty soon here, and maybe like an energy check or something like that later. Okay, so that was Aries. Starting at 2442, we have Taurus. So 2442. Let's move into Taurus. Taurus, let's look at your energy here and see what wants to come out for you. What does Taurus need to know about this full moon energy on the 30th? Checking my time here. 444 on the clock, and also your timestamp is 2442. So you might be seeing a lot of fours, a lot of synchronicities around that. 24s, 42s. You could even be dealing with someone who is April the 4th month. January, February, March. Don't make fun of me, guys. April is the 4th month. So you could be dealing with someone who has a birthday April 2nd or even February 4th, something like that. But lots of fours, okay? That means a lot of commitment energy. So I feel like you're coming into an energy of commitment here. Or actually, Taurus, this feels more energetically, it feels more, not that we're coming into an energy of commitment, it almost feels like we're coming into an energy of releasing commitments so that we can heal. It feels more like we're navigating out of so many commitments. We're releasing commitments with other people, whether it's friends, family, relationship. If you're dating, it's like, I don't want to date anymore. If you hook up all the time, I don't want to hook up anymore. It's like the way that this is coming in is I'm seeing it's not isolated energy, but it is like releasing commitments because I need to do some inner healing, like some in-depth healing is how this feels. Okay. First energy out. We have 6 of Swords. I hear Randy, Marcus, DeMarcus, Natasha, Sasha, something like that. What does Taurus need to know for this full moon energy? Okay, for you guys, Taurus, this is very like I said, it's almost like you're trying to move forward. You're trying to do something different here. It feels very internal. It feels very emotional. I'm trying to transform. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to do something different here so that I can move forward into things that are going to serve me a lot better. This feels like, what is that 5 of Wands here? That's the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, it's almost weird because I'm getting a couple messages here. So for some of you, yeah, interesting. For some of you, it's an energy of, how do I heal and transform myself? It feels kind of isolating, and we do have the 9 of Wands and the Hermit, so kind of being on guard, going within. But it's almost like, it feels like I'm kind of withdrawing, I'm isolating, I'm going within myself because it's like I need to release, I need to let go of a lot of different things, it's like realizations here, a lot of emotions here. And I'm doing this, and I'm feeling like I need to do this because this is a lot of the, you might have intense emotions during this energy of the full moon. This is what it might be bringing in for you energetically, is a lot of emotional baggage that we've not released. And it's like, time to let it go. Here it is. We're dropping it off at the doorstep, and we're also opening the door and dumping it into the house. It's like, if you've avoided any of these emotional things, emotional baggage, things that you couldn't let go, it's being dropped right on you, okay? That's what this full moon energy is coming in and doing for you. It's making you see and be aware and consciously aware of a lot of emotional baggages that we have not worked through, healed, released, let go of. And so now we're finally going to be looking at them. I feel like a very emotional energy. We're going to be looking at them so that we can release them and move on from them. And that's when it's almost like, and this is where the storyline kind of splits, because some of you, after we do this and we heal from this, we're able to finally stop fighting so hard for the thing that we want, and it's like we can finally actually get it without having so many issues, so much competition. So if you've always had that dream career and you've gotten so close but you can never quite get over this final hurdle, it's like this releasing all this emotional baggage is what helps you get over that final hurdle. And now we can get it, we can come into balance. We're in the race, we're in the top of the race. Okay, now for others of you, the storyline that comes in is releasing this emotional baggage is what almost allows you to fight for the thing you want. So instead of it just coming to you because you're already there, so I guess they're kind of aligned in a little bit of a slightly different way, but it's almost like releasing these emotions, releasing all this baggage, all this extra weight we didn't even know we were carrying, like having this whole emotional epiphany and emotional release allows us to see what we want and fight for it. But I feel like you already know what this is. There's already something in your energy that you know you want this. This is your star, it's your wish fulfillment, it's everything you ever wanted. You want this, but you aren't pursuing it, you aren't aligning with it, you aren't going after it. This, after the energy of the full moon, allows you to go after it. So I don't know if this is confidence, courage, or passion. I don't know what it is that we needed here to go after it that we didn't have before. This looks like, it's like we were too controlled about how we communicated what makes us happy, rather than communicating it, rather than expressing it and being present and being filled with that energy and reciprocating and receiving and having the energy abundance. It's like we were very controlled in the way that we called it in, the way that we communicated with it. If it's another person, it's the way we communicated with that person. We could communicate our happiness, but nothing was being felt on the other side because we were so controlled with our emotions, with our emotional body, everything like that. We couldn't show up emotionally and energetically for what we were saying. Instead, we could communicate it and then try to go after it. But it's like, if you think about intention or manifestation, you can say it all you want, but if you don't feel the emotional expression of what you're trying to manifest, of what your intention is, if you can't let that emotion fill you and release out into your energy, because that energy is what creates the ability to have the intention and the manifestation. Without that emotional energy, it's nothing but words. And I feel like this is what we got trapped in here, is because we held on to so much emotional baggage and traumas and heartaches and sadness and griefs and anger and issues. We had a hard time pulling in that emotional energy and expressing it with the things that we're trying to get in line with the things we're trying to attract, with the things we want to pursue, the things we want to bring into our lives. It's like it kept failing over and over because we were lacking the emotional energy, which is what creates the ability for us to even do anything when it comes to energy, manifestation, intentions, spell work, magic, attracting people, anything, law of attraction, vibration. Without emotional energy, all of that is just words. And I feel like that's exactly what your energy is. It's all, but it's just words, because there was no emotional energy there. We removed the block by releasing it, heavily releasing it. And now it's like, now I can pull it in. Now I can manifest it. Now I can pursue it. Now I can attract it, because I can show up with an emotional energy that co-creates, that allows, that releases. It's like it's a totally different language. But if you don't have both languages, you're not successful. Okay. Finally, we're learning the other language. We're allowing the other language to come into play rather than just our words. We're learning the emotional energy piece, okay? Let's see if there's anything else. What advice do we have for Taurus? What advice is there for Taurus? Okay, we have present, persona, new day. This is very much like after, even during, sacred space, even while this energy is happening on the full moon. So we can even start experiencing full moon energy now, honestly. But once this comes in, your advice here, be as present as you can in the energies that you feel, in the emotions that you feel. Do not judge yourself. Do not dismiss them. Do not distract yourself from it. Do not push it down. It's like we need to allow the emotions to flow, because the more we let it flow, the easier it is for them to come in and then leave. But when there's resistance and we keep trying to avoid them, the emotions don't go away. Regardless, these emotions are flowing for you no matter what. But how easy that process is for you is totally up to you. If you are resistant and you delay it, you're going to be, feeling all these emotions in a time where energetically it's not being supported, because the full moon is supporting this release for you. The energy is coming in to help you bring it up and release it. But if we delay it, we're not bringing it up, so we can't release it. So then it's like at the worst moment, we're going to just be all emotional and all over the place, and it's going to be more difficult to help it and understand it and release it. So it's almost like allow yourself the space, allow yourself the withdrawal, allow yourself the time to fully be open. And as these emotions come in, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. If you need to go on a walk, go on a walk. If you need to do anything meditative that helps you work through them, do it. Okay, don't turn to like substances and stuff like that and drinking and smoke. That's delaying it. That's pushing it down. That's preventing it. Authentically deal with the emotions. Allow your mind to come to an easy place where we're feeling more than we're thinking. We're not judging. We're not replaying. There's no thoughts with we feel the emotions, and we allow them to leave us after we feel them, after we thoroughly feel them without adding logic or reason. None of that. Just feel it, okay? Cosmic flow, okay? Allow them to flow in and out of you. Allow the emotions to do what they need to do. Allow the universe to nurture and protect and love you while these emotions come up, because it does feel like heavy emotional baggage is being brought up and released at this time for you, Taurus. So you are probably going to be more emotional than you probably ever have been in your life, is what this feels like. It feels like a gigantic release of things that we've never looked at, and years of stuff that we've avoided. It's like all at once it's coming in. So self-care, self-love, withdraw from anything that takes your energy, because you're going to need all your energy to move through this, okay? Taurus, that is all that I have for you for the full moon reading. I will be doing your guys' monthly readings for September pretty soon here. So thank you and have a good day. 3648, we are moving into Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Let's see what we have for you. I want to start off with these. Gemini, let's see what the full moon energy needs you to know. What do we need to know for Gemini for this full moon energy here? What does Gemini need to know for this full moon energy here? We have a few of these that came out. Okay, we have boundaries, intuition, clarity, and seasons upside down. I usually don't take them in reverse, but when they come out in reverse, usually there's a good reason, since I always keep my decks upright. Gemini. This energy for you, the full moon, I feel like your guides, like spirit, I don't know why. I'm seeing like a forest. Like it's not a rainforest. Like just a forest with lots of trees. I feel like I'm looking at the dirt. I'm taking in the dirt. I'm having an appreciation for the dirt, the soil, in a way I've never had. It's almost like it's the first time I've ever seen soil. And like as I pull the soil up and I'm holding it in my hand, suddenly, rapidly, there's a seed that begins to sprout from the soil that's in my hand. Okay, that's what they're showing me. But I feel like with this, it's almost like your guides want you to know. I feel like with this full moon energy, your guides are coming in, and there's a lot of like different messages and themes that are coming in. The main one, if I can express this in the right way here, it feels like the energy they give me is, Gemini, it's like you're hiding behind a door, and you've closed this door, and it's like you're sitting behind this closed door in a room by yourself, and you're just crying, and you're terrified, and you're scared, and you don't want to come out. And it's like, this is why your guides, like specifically your guides, are coming in. This isn't an energy that you're working through alone. Your guides are coming in, and it's almost like they're helping you stand up. And this is what they're showing me, like as I'm saying, is they're helping you stand up. They're opening the door, and they're helping you walk through the door. They're supporting you. They're on both of your sides. They got you covered. And it's almost like, Gemini, I don't know if you've been going through a lot of like trauma, a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect, abandonment. It's like this heavy energy of these things that just weighed us down heavily, repeatedly, non-stop. And to deal, we had to find a door in our subconscious. It's like we had to find a door to an empty room and go into that door and lock it, and sit there and release our emotions and cry. It's like we're not even expressing our emotions outwardly, externally. We're acting like everything is fine here, but it's like inside, in my mind, I'm actually, my true self, my emotional self is actually in this room with the door closed and locked, because I can't, that's the only way I can handle going through these traumas, these events, these emotions, it's like all these burdens, all this weight all the time. It's non-stop. It's just boom, 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 boom. And it's like, I'm so hurt, but I'm not telling anyone I'm hurt. I'm not expressing that I'm hurt. I'm just locking myself in this door, in this room, and I'm crying alone. Like I'm abandoning myself is almost what it feels like. And it's like, with this moon energy coming in, your guides are saying like, no more, no more. Seasons is upside down, because it's like, these are not the seasons you're gonna have to go through anymore. These are not the experiences that you will have to relive over and over and over. It's like, this feels very your guides are very even angels here. It's like we're coming in, and it's like, we have to get you out of this room. It's like, we want to show you the light, and the light is the realization that you don't have to keep doing this. This is not your whole life. This is not forever. You don't have to keep doing this. Let us help you. Let us pull you out of this room, and stop isolating yourself and blocking yourself off and abandoning yourself. Let's pull you out of that room, and we'll help you open the door, so you can see that in the time that you've been locked away, there is a whole new life in front of you that you can take. There's a whole new direction. There's a whole new epiphany. There's a whole new world. It has shifted and changed so much from the time that you've locked yourself in here. Let us help you see what is now in front of you, because now you will see that you don't have to hide in the room anymore. You don't have to lock the door. You don't have to run away. You don't have to do that anymore. Okay, but we need you to come out so you can see why you don't have to do that anymore. Okay, it's like you're stuck in this door, in this room, believing that you have to be there just to cope, and it's like, the situation has changed so much, you don't have to lock yourself in the room anymore. It's time for us to show you what has changed, what has happened, what is new, because you're not seeing difficulties. It's like, you don't have to do this anymore. Like, there's a whole new world in front of you that you can embrace, that will embrace you back in a way that does not make you feel more traumatized. This is what you don't see. Anytime I get a card that flips out and it's upside down, that is for me the piece of the situation or energy that you are not aware of, that you do not see. Okay, the energies that come out facing me, not flipped over, let me know this isn't in your awareness, it's in your consciousness, it's validation for you. This is what you don't see, and it's receive. It's like, what you don't see, what you don't realize, is it is time for you to change your life. Okay, literally change your life, And I don't know why I'm hearing Aries. I don't know if you're dealing with one or that reading is going to resonate for you, but it's like so much has happened. The longer you stay in this locked room, the longer you isolate yourself from the beautiful things that are now here for you to receive. It's time for you to receive. You don't realize what's behind that door. And for you, it's a new journey. It's a new beginning. It's a new world, a new day. But it's consistent, and it's the whole journey for you now is about receiving beautiful things, emotion, support, happiness, love, encouragement, positivity, enjoyment. It's like you've been hidden so long, and you've like isolated your own emotions here for so long. It's like you really locked yourself in this dark room and just like abandoned the self of the piece of you that feels. It's like you just abandoned it in this room because it couldn't take anymore. So you're like, okay, just go in that room and lock the door. And it just sat in there by itself, crying silently where no one could hear, so that you could continue on your life and pretend that everything is good and fine and okay, because the piece of me that feels is locked away in this door. It kind of gives me a little like dissociation energy here. And it's like we've abandoned ourselves, and it's like no more, and we cannot keep abandoning ourselves. Look at the things that are waiting for you to experience and to feel. So we have to come out. Okay, Gemini, this is very much like we have so many new things that are coming in for you here. So many new things. So a lot of your energy on this full moon is almost like getting back in touch with your feelings, and starting to, the more you get back in touch with these feelings and these emotions, the more you start to emotionally connect with your environment. Whereas before, I don't feel like you actually are, because you've blocked away that piece of you that feels. So it's like the more that we emotionally connect, the more gratitude, the more happiness, the more joy, the more support, the more enthusiasm we feel. We feel dull, we feel numb, we feel like no aches, no pains, no nothing, because I've disconnected. Now that I'm reconnecting, my guides are not forcing, pulling, pushing, shoving out the door, but they're helping me stand up and walk out of the door. It's like, it's time to get out of this space, okay? It's time to re-emotionally connect to your environment and start to realize how many beautiful things are here for you, are ready for you, are prepared for you, okay? Anything else, Gemini? Ace of Swords. Yeah, this is having ultimate clarity. Didn't we already have clarity? Ace of Swords is literally clarity. You have two clarities here. It's like the second we open that door and dare to take a step out of it, that's when we get very clear about things. We start to see things. We know things. We make decisions that align with us. No more confusion. It's like all that confusion, the heartache, the disorganization, the chaos, that all disappears. It dissipates into thin air, okay? All you have to do is emotionally show up for your environment. Reconnect to your environment. All of that goes away, and it's like the emotions provide us the clarity, the knowing, the knowledge, the understanding. Again, what you don't see, Four of Cups and Star, literally what you don't see is that you don't see the wish fulfillment. You don't see the star, the thing that's going to help you heal, that brings in balance, that brings in hope and truth. It's like the thing you've always wanted. You don't see the fact that you don't see that. You've been ignoring it, okay? And it's because we're not emotionally connecting to our environment. And I want to keep saying it that way. It's like we need to emotionally connect to our environment again, okay? Once we do that and we allow the emotions to come in again, everything changes. It's like we're looking at a whole new picture where everything looks different. Everything is changed. Any last messages for Gemini here? Yeah, we start to see the truth of everything. We don't have to hold on to anything or hold back from anything, because we see the truth of everything. We see the clarity of everything. Everything. It's like a window that has been just smudged and dirty and nasty. It's like in one swipe we wipe it all off and it's clean and clear, and it's like I had no idea that's what outside looked like because I never cleaned the window. And now that I've cleaned the window, I can see outside, and wow, there's like fruit trees and palm trees. There's lakes and rivers and people having fun. There's all these beautiful flowers and sunlight and games and food. And it's like, is that what I've been missing out on? This is amazing. Okay, Gemini, that is all I have for you for this energy of the full moon on the 30th. I will have monthly readings for September out shortly. So just be patient with me there, and I will see you guys again later. Bye. 49:30, we are moving into Cancer. Okay. What time is it? 5:09. Okay, Cancer. This is going to be your energetic reading, what you need to know for that full moon. What does Cancer need to know for the full moon on the 30th? That super moon that's blue. Super blue full moon. What does Cancer need to know? Well, don't give me a time. I want messages, but I don't want a book. What does Cancer need to know? Ooh, you guys. Slippery. You might feel slippery, like emotionally, it feels clumsy, okay? You might actually be physically clumsy, dropping a lot of things, breaking a lot of things. Just, it feels very clumsy, it feels very loose, okay? What does Cancer need to know? What does Cancer need to know? Okay, we have intuition, we have chance, which in this deck, intuition is an extra card, chance is Wheel of Fortune, 10, and then we have Queen of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and what you don't see is potential, the Fool, 0. Cancer. Okay, hello. This is really nice energy. I like this. So first off, let me just say this. A lot of you that are feeling more clumsy, dropping things, stumbling, tripping, falling, bumping into stuff, it's almost like your physical body is expressing the energetic overflow that you're feeling right now. So it's almost like instead of internalizing all the emotion and like when it's almost like the energy of when something really big is about to happen, but we don't know what it is, we will energetically feel it. And we get like this abundance of energy and we don't know why, we don't understand why. And sometimes you start to feel really anxious and really worried and fearful and scared, and anticipation comes in, and when we're nervous, it's like the same exact thing is happening, but this is a Cancer that has transformed in a magical way, because now when that energy comes in, when our body is receiving overflows of energy because something's happening or coming in, or just the shifts of things, instead of becoming worried and anxious and fearful and nervous, it's like we push out the energy and we actually turn it into physical energy. Instead of it staying in our emotional body, instead of it staying in our intuitive body, we push it out, and it's like we start to expel the extra energy that we can't hold on to. That way we're not overflowing with like these fears and anxieties and anxiousness, because we don't know what's coming in, we don't know what's happening. It's like, okay, time to release this is extra energy, let's go on a hike, let's go on a run, let's go build something, let's create, let's move, let's do. It's like we're putting this extra energy we have into action, which is much healthier than letting it sit, because then that's when the negative thoughts come in and the overthinking. And it's like, for you, Cancer, I feel like you have a lot of this extra energy coming in for you right now. But it's like the way that your body is starting to naturally expel it is like we're kind of getting clumsier. It's like we have so much that it's hard to grab onto things. It's hard to hold and and like be stable and solid. It's a little like airy energy, but not too much there. So you might be feeling a lot of that, and it's because there's just an intense buildup of energy here. But instead of holding it, we're releasing it, and that's why we're getting clumsy. We're falling over. We're bumping in. We're dropping. We're breaking. All kinds of things here. So let me just get that out of the way. Next, Cancer. The reason why this is beautiful energy is because with this moon energy, this full moon energy coming in, I immediately heard potential again, and we have the potential card here. There is a ton of potential that is going to be hitting you in a very direct way, but it's almost like it's your energy that allows the potential to come in, because we are very confident, we are stable, we are moving not fast, not slow, we're making decisions, we're being positive, we're being optimistic. So that's why I'm saying this is a transformed Cancer that I am tapping into, because this is a Cancer that has learned the ins and outs of working with their own energy so that it doesn't become a negative thing for them. This feels more like an enlightened Cancer here when it comes to themselves and their energy, and learning how to like navigate out of, you know, all those shadow sides. Someone who's done a lot of shadow work here, because now we naturally, without even having to consciously focus and do and work on it, we naturally receive this energy and push it out in a positive way. So if you think about transcendence, it's like transcending that energy to create positivity. Even if the energy coming toward us is negative, if it's down, if it's shadow energy, we naturally just kind of transcend it now and make it into something good and positive for us, which creates momentum, potential, action, movement. And in Cancer, I feel like this moon energy, all this energy, this extra big dose of energy that comes in, you feel it, but in a very different way than you usually would feel energy. You feel it in a way that creates all this potential like benefit for you. So like a new job, a new relationship, a new home, you know, anything you've been working on, projects. It doesn't have to be just new stuff, but it's like you're finding a new way to look at things, to build and to work on them. We see all these opportunities, and it's like they're just laid at our feet because we're in this energy where we're very open and receptive to it. We're very awakened and enlightened to it, okay? And then with potential and Nine of Wands, you have a new beginning that's coming in for you, and it's because you didn't give up. It's because you never stopped fighting. It's because you never settled. It's because you didn't just sit there and take it. You worked on the shadow side. You did a lot of healing. You did a lot of like reflection, introspection here. This is a Cancer that has heavily worked on themselves in a big way for a long time. And now this energy is like supporting you because you support it with your own energy. So it's like this new beginning is coming in here, and it's because you did not stop. You never stopped. You never gave up. You never quit. You never threw the towel in. You didn't give up on yourself. You just kept moving and pushing and going, okay? You now have something to show for all the fight, and that's a brand new beginning. I want to kind of get a little clarity. You're getting a lot of intuition as well, okay? At this time, I would highly recommend follow anything that your intuition is telling you. When you get messages, when you get downloads, realizations, epiphanies, anything like that. Even communication. Some of you might have heightened like psychic ability right now, and it's like when those things come in, follow them, trust them. I feel like you already know how to do this, but it's like, no, seriously, don't just dismiss it and brush it off. Look into it, follow it, trust it, move with it, because that's where all your fortune, all your greatness is coming in at, is the more that we trust that intuition and move with it and actually embrace it, okay? I just want to quickly look at these because there's a lot here that came out. Oh, that's funny. We have 5, 5. We have the 5 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles. So it's like holding on to the past. Before we were holding on to the past, and it's like now we're moving forward in this enlightened and like really highly spiritual religious way, because then we have the Mystic and the Spirit of Swords. These are both very like tuned in to our intuition, to our power, our inner power, our strength, our source connection, okay? Our gifts and abilities. It's like we might be really realizing what our purpose is on this moon energy here. I feel like we already know it, but it's almost like now the benefit, the opportunity, monetary gains, overflow of abundance, it's like it's coming in from this moon energy, but it's all because of the development and growth that you've had, Cancer. It's all because of the work that you've done leading up to this moment. Okay? And it's very much like, this is someone who does trust their intuition, who listens to their intuition. You've learned to only listen to that. The eyes can be deceptive. The heart can be deceptive. The mind can be deceptive, but your intuition will never lie. And it's like, we've learned to isolate our intuition and use it, okay? Like, not get confused by it. And it's like, this is a lot of abundance coming in here. Like, a lot. Oh, yeah. You might have someone that reaches out and communicates with you about their emotions towards you. It's very separate from this. It's not one or the other. This is definitely happening. But on the side note, for some of you, you might find out about something where it's like you might even be getting your emotional needs met, because this person that you really want or like, or someone you've been manifesting here, like a new person, it's like you find out about them. You're communicating with them. You're coming into contact with them. You're discovering them, something like this. It's like we have night on the bottom here, so it's like you're not prepared for this. You don't know it's coming in. You have no idea. This could be a new person for you, but it's like meeting the person of your dreams, because you've changed and transformed so much that you are in like complete support energy of this right now. Okay. Cancer, I think that's all I have for you. I don't feel guided to get any like advice. I think you already have all the advice you need on this. So this blue moon energy, for those Cancers that have done the work up to this point, you're about to reap a lot of reward, a lot of benefit, a lot of opportunity. I just keep getting so much abundance, okay? Cancer, that's all I have for you. So 138, let's move into Leo. Leo, let's see what we have for your energy that you need to be aware of for this full moon. Show me full moon energy. What time is it? 5. I'm gonna have to make this speedy because I gotta get out of here. I was hoping to make it to at least Virgo, but I don't think I'm going to. What does Leo need to know for this full moon energy? What does I don't know. I'm hearing inspired and then action, but it's almost like it's said in an accent, like inspired action. It's like, what is that? I don't know what that means. But inspired action. And then it's almost like we're walking onto it. This is what they're showing me in my mind's eye here, is like we're walking into a play set, and it's like they're recording and inspired action, and then it's like you're walking onto the stage and you're ready to act, and it's like you're in your energy, man. You're in your full energy. You are having your moment. You are doing what you're good at. You are in the place that you need to be. You're doing what you love. This feels very, very good. Very good energy, okay? What does Leo need to know for this full moon? Phew. Phew. Don't make fun of my sneeze, guys. Excuse me. What does Leo need to know for this full moon? It's like you're like putting on a whole scene, a whole set here. I can't take all this. It's like they keep showing me, and it's like you're in a play, you're acting. You're acting. You're in a movie, okay? We have Wheel of Fortune, Father of Pentacles. I'm not even surprised. That's because it's like you're investing in something you're really good at. There's a lot of passion there. There's a lot of like happiness and inspiration with doing this. Like, I'm doing something I love, and it's inspiring, and I'm taking action on it, okay? And I think that's what that inspired action is. Yeah, I'm not sitting around on nothing that doesn't fulfill me. I'm fully in my energy here of like knowing what fulfills me, and I'm moving towards it. I'm discovering things. I'm being playful. I'm going out. 3 of Wands, 7 of Swords. It's like I'm no longer deceiving myself about like the things that I want to do. I'm no longer caring about what other people think or what their opinions are. If this is something I want to try, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. That's what your energy feels like. Yeah. The Sun, the 8 of Pentacles. It's like if I'm going to have a life and I have to work all my life and I have to sustain myself all my life, well, damn, I better be happy doing it. It's almost like the full moon energy here, it's coming in, and I feel like a lot of you Leos are already in this energy, but it's like the full moon energy comes in and further supports and instills that energy in you. Like, it's like if you needed just like the final push to truly like have the confidence, the courage, the ability to truly act on anything and everything that is a part of your wildest desires and dreams, this is that final push to just get you there. To just like get you fully into that energy 100%, because this feels like I'm experimenting, I'm trying different things, I'm, you know, if I want to take an acting class because I've always wanted to be an actor, I'm gonna go for it. Like I have no training, and you know, I usually work a 9 to 5 and I'm a businessman or woman. It's like no, I always wanted to do this. It's like this energy that's coming in, this full moon energy for you, it's helping you support your dreams, is what that feels like. It's like whatever dreams that you have, and it doesn't have to be one, it can be any, multiple, infinite, any dreams that you have. This is putting you in energy of like supporting you following those dreams, trying them out, experiencing them. It's like you're not meant to just live this singular lifestyle, Leo. You're meant to, it's like you're meant to move around and like experience doing things and meeting people that align with the things you actually want. You want to be a NASCAR driver? Go buy a ticket and meet the people and ask and find a way to drive in a car. It's like, go do those things. Anything that aligns with you, like truly aligns with you without the influence or the opinion of others around you or worried about how you would be perceived. It's like you want to be a famous artist, start painting, learn how to paint. You always wanted to travel to Puerto Rico and, you know, backpack there, start learning Spanish. You know, it's like very specific things keep coming in where it's like we have all these desires, we always dreamed of that, we always wanted to do that, we always wanted to be that person, we always wanted to do that thing. It's like this energy comes in and it so is supporting this. It's like, have fun, enjoy yourself, be in the limelight. Just, it's like the more you get more into your energy, which attracts more abundance and happiness and love and joy and peace. It's like you're like a shining beacon of light when you're fully in your energy, Leo. But it's like, to get fully in your energy, you have to embrace the life that you want to live. You have to be playful. You have to get out and have fun. You have to always like have this sense of adventure and allow yourself to be, you know, to succumb to it and not like avoid it and run away from it and, you know, fear it. It's like, no, be adventurous, be daring, be spontaneous, have fun, be playful, enjoy your life. Because the more happiness that you create for yourself, the brighter you glow, the more influence and impact you have on others, and the more you attract to support you with that lifestyle. So this is like fully, it's like what I literally heard is breaking free from the cage. Like, it's like you're breaking out of the cage. Anything that was like holding you back or made you feel difficult, it's like no more, no more, no more. Okay? What's the advice for Leo? What's the advice for Leo? What advice do you have for Leo? I like this energy because this is all about you guys. Inner child, let your inner child out to play. Remember all those dreams, all those ideas that you had. Like, I feel like for some of you Leos, you guys would pretend like that you were in war or that you were a famous actor or actress. It's like you would pretend and act these things out and be imaginative and playful as a kid, but as an adult, you just totally let all that go and like you put yourself into this very contemporary, restricted lifestyle is the way I hear it. It's like, it's time to break free from that, get out in nature, remember your inner child, go play. And get out in nature doesn't literally mean or have to mean get out in nature. It can, but it's more so nature is untamed. Nature is wild. Nature is, you know, the most primal energy that we all hold is nature, because you could plant a row of, you know, petunias, and in that one row, you might end up sprouting a carrot and some lettuce and cabbage. And it's like, what? I planted petunias here. Yeah, well, seeds flow, pollination changes. It's like you cannot control nature. It is uncontrollable. But the less you try to control it, the more beautiful and abundant it is. And it's like, Leo, this is your energy. The less you try to restrict and control yourself, the more abundant and beautiful you become. The more like interactive and spontaneous you are, the more joy that you give yourself as well as all of those people that are around you. It's like that's your true ability here, is like to really influence other people, just even if it's an admiration. It's like your energy, it literally keeps telling me, is like a beam of light, but you have to find a way to spark that light. How do you spark the light? You do what you love. You do even things that you know are just a dream and it's never going to work out, and it's like, that's so unrealistic, but I'm going to go do it anyways. Yeah, be responsible, balance yourself, but it's like, if you know that you're never going to be a Broadway star and that's not something that's like actually realistic and you couldn't see yourself doing that as a career, but you've always kind of wanted to do it, go try out for a play and do one play on Broadway. It's like, just do one thing. You don't have to make it a lifestyle, and that's the thing. You're not meant to settle into these pockets of lifestyle, of living, of defining who you are, of your identity. You're not meant to find a single box and sit in it. This is almost saying, Leo, the energy that supports you and what your advice and what your energy is moving towards, play in all the boxes, open all the boxes, destroy all the boxes, sit in all the boxes. It's like, do not find one box and sit in it. Play with all of them. And it like literally shows me like a cat, and how cats, like, they're just playful, and they just jump into all this random stuff. A box, a vase, a bed, a closet, a shoe, wherever they fit, they'll go into it just for the heck of it. Even if they know it's not going to be long-term and permanent, it's like, just for the heck of it. I want to see what it's like in there. It's almost like, Leo, that's what you need to do. Be playful like a cat. I mean, you are the lion, so that makes sense. It's like, stop taming yourself. Stop restricting yourself. Stop attaching identifiers and labels to yourself. Be unidentifiable. Be unlabeled. Be you. Just be you. And you is a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everywhere. It's a little bit of nothing. It's a little bit of something. It's like, just be you. And that's where you're going to get so much happiness, success, abundance, joy, release. It's like, this is surrendering to your own energy. This is surrendering to yourself, your own happiness, your own joy. Surrender to that, and you will be off like a rocket in the stars, flying to the moon, okay? Take the leap. Literally, take the leap. It's like, just whatever you think is fun and will be fun, just go do it. Just go do it. Just do it. Okay? Leo, that is all that I have for you. I will post the remaining signs into a second post because I have to go. So, Leo, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys later. I will be doing monthly readings for September pretty soon here, so you'll see that come up. But thanks so much, Leo. Bye.